Welcome to Revival, a project of Garage Wine Co., an artisanal winery from the Maule in southern Chile, given over to reviving old vineyards. We began in 2001. Today we export wine to 16 countries around the world, including our UK partners, Freshnet Kopstik, who have the website Slurp and on-premise business Jascots. Revival is a special wine we've developed with Freshnet to give safe work during COVID, reviving old vineyards. When Pilar and I began in our garage 20 years ago, small didn't fit in Chilean wine. So after some frustrating time sourcing small quantities of fruit in blue chip Chile, we went off the beaten path. We went south to the Maule on Chile's coastal range of mountains. No irrigation, very old vines, small family farms. The cradle of viticulture in Chile, but disconnected from the modern wine trade. No one took Maule very seriously. It was relegated to bulk wine. Gorgeous old vines, hundreds of years old, full of flavor and complexity. A photographer/wine writer's dream. No one took much notice. Quietly, we began to work a variety of small vineyards, parcel by parcel, to see what terroir existed. I could speak about the many workarounds we mustered in order to survive and ultimately thrive over those early years that pulled us closer to the earth, the farming, and the people. Silkscreening bottles, crayon wax capsules, welding our own small tanks out of repurposed stainless steel. But let's fast forward to the project at hand. Perhaps some of you know the variety País. It came to Chile from the Canary Islands almost 500 years ago, when Spain was busy conquering South America. Tax documents reveal that a winery in Chile was making País in the year 1548. Think about what was going on in 1548. Michelangelo was busy painting ceilings in the Vatican. King Henry VIII had just died. Mary was Queen of Scotland, and Elizabeth, the first one, wouldn't begin to reign for another decade. There were 4 towns in Britain with a population of more than 10,000, including London, at a mere 60. And there wasn't any real Bordeaux in London yet, because Cabernet Sauvignon would not exist for another 215 years. Documented for the first time in 1763. Kind of gobsmacking to think of vineyards on hillsides in the Maule back then. Now, fast forward and just imagine such old vineyards passed down over all this time, perhaps 20 generations. Imagine them in the early 2000s suffering from neglect. Not because they stopped making wonderful wine, have you, but because they were not connected with the new wine trade that was busy putting Chilean Merlot on supermarket shelves. The trouble was that these old vineyards were too small to fill a truck, too far away from a paved road. They couldn't be worked with a tractor, to say nothing of being picked by a machine. The new wine business wanted efficiency. They wanted the small growers to modernize, spray instead of cultivate, scale up instead of focus, and above all, reduce the costs of labor. But the labor is precisely where you find the wisdom of farming passed down all those generations. That's what unlocks the flavor. What we have discovered working these parcels is that proper farming holds many secrets, not just to growing tastier fruit to make tastier wine, but to providing proper work, a healthier community, healthier soils, ultimately a healthier planet. So when the COVID bug began, we created the Revival Project to create work to revive more of these old vineyards in our workers' own backyards. In this way, they did not have to travel far away to work on a new industrially planted fundo and risk becoming ill through sharing a van with workers from other towns. They worked in a revival bubble. Fast forward again, and today, after much work over the past growing year, we've harvested, fermented, and are now aging the wine Revival. Now it's your turn to give País a chance. Purchase a bottle, case, of Revival, and you will help directly to revive old vines in Puico, Sausal, Trujillo. Your help will give ongoing work to farmers to regenerate vineyards, community, soil, and planet.